Okay, are we up and running? Let me make sure that I'm sending information. There we go, we are up and running. Alright, perfect, perfect, perfect. So, this is close to end board for the Bao Baboon deck that I was working on yesterday. The one that I gave up on and I swapped decks out and I used the other engine for. I went back to the Bao Baboon deck profile, well, to that deck specifically because I just realized that there's ways that we can make certain plays rather budget friendly. Specifically, if you look in the graveyard, I went back to this engine here, and with the Bao Baboon, if you delay, if this isn't your starter card, there are actually great ways that you can make a good amount of advantage and get to the entire combo for code breakers here. Um, the whole point of today's stream is to see if we can break Bao Baboon. I'm gonna give you guys a couple test hands, and then we're gonna look around in the deck and see if there's any other cards that we can add. I have an experiment I want to run with Agnaminazad specifically, and maybe Lithogasm if I can find a way to put Lithogasm in this deck. I don't think I have that many Earth monsters. I don't think I really summon any Earth monsters per se. The only good one that I can think of is Agnaminazad. As you can see, Lone Fire is also here. That's pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, I guess it would probably just be 3 Agnaminazad. I want to see if Agnaminazad can trigger Bao Baboon or if Bao Baboon's effect has to be on the field. Because the card does specifically say that if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon any number of Bao Baboons from your deck. So, what's crazy about this is that I'm not seeing anything here that says destroyed on the field, so that's something that I want to test out today. But I do want to give you guys a clear glimpse of the test hands, and I do want to show you guys what, a couple hours of me testing this build out looks like. There are a couple brick hands. I do have other issues with the deck, so let's go check out the entire deck here. This is our list. Obviously, triple gold river, double mailcaster. I may bump this up to 3. Double Bismugear again. I may bump this up to 3. I might swap this extra Volflame here for another Bismugear. Vanisher stays at 1. Obviously, Vanisher is for counter. And for the rest of the deck, obviously the 1 Phantom Knights boots, Codebreaker 0 Day. Obviously, we only need 1 copy of this card. Crazy thing, the reason why I like this engine, specifically the Codebreaker 0 Day engine, is because you just need this 1 copy of Codebreaker 0 Day. And it's not even a Garnet per se. Like, you could summon this, you can go into stuff because you can actually take Virus Swordsman, special summon this from anywhere, from your hand, from the graveyard, from the deck itself. It's just really good. So that makes it so that if this is in my hand and I really need to normal summon it, or I need to burn the Pendulum Summon, it's not trash. You have no problem drawing this card. It's going to come back and you can do whatever you want with it. Obviously the 1 cloak, 1 boots. I know I normally run 2 boots, but 2 boots seems to be getting a little bit cloggy. Let's see. 2 fog blades, though usually I only end on 1. Granted, I have Apollosa, so the fog blades to me are a little bit redundant. I have Shade Brigandine here. Shade usually ends up on the board. So another extender that can get me into Firewall. I'm trying Firewall out. I'm not really liking it. I may swap Firewall out for Griffin. We'll see if I can figure something out or if we can figure something out. Rest of the deck is pretty standard. 2 extenders, the 2 searchers. This is the fruits of your labor if you have Orphis Scorpio. This is the only real Garnet in the deck, this Darningtonia Cobra. But outside of that, everything else pretty much works, I would say. Let's see. So it would be those cards there. Usual fusion package. I may cut some of these out, but there are pinch situations that I'm noticing that these may come in handy. Like if there's a way for me to end with a Mithrilium or an Alkahis, and I have the space and I have the rare Metalfoes fusion, I can probably go into something else, fusion someone for another card, and just waste their monster there. But this may get cut. I'm not 100% certain yet, or it may get changed for another card. Metalfoes Fusion, still, this is clearly the best fusion card in the deck at the moment. Most versatile, works kind of like this, but provides the +1 differently. I still have this fusion in here. It's searchable. It's another one that you can activate. Sometimes you want to fuse twice. A lot of times though, you don't even make the fusion because you are still going into the 0-day package. Bao Baboom. I was using this card totally wrong. I was not thinking about the play structure properly, but now I've realized that as long as you have Lone Fire Blossom and a pop, or you have the Orpheus Scorpio, a Bao Baboon, and a pop in your hand, you're probably going to go off. You're probably going to go have the nuts. Like, it's going to be retarded. Um, Outside of that, Orpheus by itself is pretty good as well. It gets you to stuff. Normal summon. It's an effect monster. Effect monsters are important because of the Codebreaker Virus Swordsman part of the deck, part of the engine. So, getting to that is just really important. The rest of the stuff here, or most contentious cards, I would say. Firewall, this Heavy Metal Foes is also rather contentious. I'm considering Tri-Gate, but I'm also not considering Tri-Gate. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. Mithrilium, I am using Mithrilium as an extender, but if I can get to turn 3 and I still have ways to make plays, I want to have an extra Mithrilium on my side to make sure that I can recycle this Mithrilium, that Alkahis, whatever other cards are in my graveyard at the time, and keep extending from there. Side, these are all cards that I've taken out or realized that don't make sense in my deck. I really don't like 2 Alkahis. You don't make 2 Alkahis. If you're forced to go into 2 Alkahis or you're playing 2 Alkahis, it's because you're not playing Metalfoes correctly. Like, 1 Alkahis is enough. Just find other forms of negate or disruption. It's not like Alkahis really stops anything per se. It's like you're gonna summon something, and when the person summons something, you need additional plays to follow up whatever you're gonna do with that. So really, maybe Nightmare Griffin and Alkahis might be something that we might be able to look at, but I'm not 100% certain yet. Yeah, so that's basically the list. Let's go to the test hand phase of the deck. But before that, I want to just do my usual house cleaning. You guys know how I am with that. And once I'm done, yep, we're gonna get into it. Where's my phone? Oh, you were just lurking. I was just making sure I sent it around, man. That's all I was doing. But yeah, so this is the new build. We have new combos. Well, it's an old combo, apparently, kinda, sorta, but not really though. I just wasn't doing it before. So yeah, any pop plus this is your usual end board with this, and probably this. I just don't know how to get to Nightmare Cerberus. I was trying Firewall out. I don't really like Firewall. Um, this plus this and a pop is the same situation, different day. And like I was saying, I do want to try some other things out. But yeah, house cleaning is done. I've sent the link around, so let's just try to get the test hand. Alright, so this is a good hand, I would say. You can normal summon, activate, discard the Bao Baboon. This comes out here. And obviously we're gonna go instant fusion. See, instant fusion is really what's making this deck work. I can see that getting banned because because Konami wants to make money for product. Now I can summon this. And let's draw. I want to put this back at the bottom of the deck because there's no way for me to really summon it and make use of it at the moment. Alright. I don't think we're going to see any more Metalfoes cards. So we're just going to set that one specifically. But what do I know? Let's activate both Bao Baboons. I don't mind digging. There's better cards that I can get into here. But I don't really need the dig effect. So place this at the bottom. What's this? A scale 1. And I drew my Power Metalfoes Fusion. I can see this again, so I'll put this at the bottom as well. Let's see. Let's go straight into the remainder of the combo. Yeah, so as you can see, it still works with just these cards. And since I have Power Metalfoes Fusion, I can get my hands on the Alkeys as well. Okay, so we're gonna summon that out there. Normally, so what I do is I just send this and I summon this one. We can activate. I'd say we activate now, so we can have the extra interrupt. And we activate now as well, so we can get the boots. Activate this from hand. That counts as a normal monster, fortunately for us. So I can leave that right over there. Now I can special summon. And really, if I wanted to, the play would be Apollosa for 3 plus an Alkahis and a Banish. But again, that's kind of weak in my opinion. That's why I really do want to find a way to get, more cards out onto the board. I forgot. You gotta make Apollosa for 2. And obviously you're going to get a Fog Blade. So yeah, this is what we're looking like at present. If there's a way that if I can find a way to tutor out a forward skipper from deck and I can add Messiah into the deck, I can probably get a bit more out of this combo. I can get a bit more out of this entire situation here. But yeah, that's how that hand works. So we have Appaloosa for 2 negates. We have that. We have this interruption, and we have this interruption. Problem is that we don't have spell and trap negate. We needed an Omni negate, in my opinion. If we have one Omni negate, that changes everything. But that Omni Negate is very expensive to get to. So let's go again. This hand looks like it's not good, but it's still good. As I said before, as long as you have a pop plus that, you're good. It also means I can search something other than... I can search something else. I guess we can go Metalfoes Fusion. Cross Sheep. I understand why this engine is picking up in like in usage. It makes sense. Draw one. You're sending me messages. What's going on here? Okay, so I don't know what the next best thing to send here is. I mean, this is clearly a play extender. If I can get my hands on one more card, one more Metalfoes card. But I guess I'll send this to the bottom of the deck. And I'll activate Beastmagear here. If I went Metalfoes Fusion, it would have been okay too. Because I could have did the Mithrilium to bring back yada yada yada. You guys know how that goes. So this is okay. This also would have been excellent if we still had like an MX Saber Invoker or something to that effect. Oh, you are not the one, my guy. Go to the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. So here I can obviously go Mithrilium for another extender. But I don't know if there's any benefit to really doing that. Aside from maybe getting an extra card. But that also clogs up the slots. Maybe I should have summoned these over here knowing that I would have played those there. Actually, let me see something. Let me see something here. And we summon this all the way over here. No, we're going to special summon Metaltron over here. Yeah, this is fine, it would seem. And now that we have Metaltron on the board, we go through the rest of this play. I think this secures us an Apollosa for sure. Let's go 0 day. Let's go 0 day. Then we activate. We're going to send. We're going to chain block. We're going to add. So we could get an Apollosa for 3 here. But outside of that, I don't know what else. This was also this also had the ability to be Alkahis if I kept my if I had kept the Metalfoes Fusion. But yeah, this is basically where we are. So you're going to get another negate back here. Rusty Man's not really doing anything. Let's try to see what the firewall would do. Man, firewall would be so busted if it gave you back like spells and stuff. So if I get a scale and pretty much any monster, I can extend further. Wait, was that the only one that I had? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It's like we didn't do anything at all. Breaking this is a terrible idea. Breaking that was a terrible idea. Had the pendulum summon first. I mean, granted, this card can still float out. Like, it really doesn't care. Hmm. If I pendulum summoned, that would have been Nightmare. That would have been Cerberus. But I don't think that Cerb would have been good anyway. It's just me though. Yeah, that would be basically it. So I think the best thing to do is to swap this out for Phoenix. I don't know what I'm gonna do with, I mean Griffin. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Griffin per se yet. They could have gave us this back by now. They could have given us Goblin back by now. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm just asking for too much as usual. I'm not feeling that heavy Metalfoes either. I do think we need two of this. Outside of that, I'm not sure where we're going with this deck. I think Griffin is better though. I think Griffin is infinitely better. I mean, if I use my Shade Brigandine, I can actually just set the Shade Brigandine again, or reset the counter, or set the Parametalfoes fusion again. Whatever I use, I can set it again. Maybe instant fusion after I made a Mithrilium or something to that effect. That is your job. It is your job to ask for too much, but I feel like putting you out of commission today. So I think that I can take out the Volflame in favor of another Vanisher, and I can look for another 8 to swap out for the extra Beesma gear. That kind of makes it so that the only real card that I want to search for Painful Decision is Gold River, but I mean Gold River is Gold River. We don't doubt my boy Gold River. He does what he's supposed to do. So we have more effect monsters now, and there are other ways to get plays set up with these cards that allow you to still get this full combo going. It's a bit weaker, but they exist. My only other problem with this deck is that it's just hand trap fodder. Like, you are going to lose the hand trap outright. There's other stuff that I don't like with it either. Like sometimes I kind of wish there was a better extender to go into. That's not Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish. But Rusty gets you advantage, and Rusty gets you Shade, so it's no big deal, really. But yeah. So let's go into another test hand with this new setup. Okay, so we have effect monsters here. We have the ability to pop. We have a fusion in hand. This is actually a pretty solid hand here. I have to figure out what I'm going to... It's probably just going to be Gold River. Really and truly. Now I can start my normal shenanigans. Distributes itself. So that's something I didn't realize. I have to discard. Probably discard this. It doesn't really matter, per se. And I think I should activate the Bismugear first this time. So now that we've gotten this far, we activate this. Kofi is such a weird card, I swear. But what it does is not even its own fault. So yeah, this was the Lone Fire route that I was talking about. You contribute the Lone Fire again. And you get Bao Baboom. I'm not going to activate on this. I like this hand. Now we're going to activate the Bismugear. And we're going to destroy. Setting our usual Metalfoes counter. I'll only activate one. I don't need to dig that far. You know what? Let's dig far. Yeah, I don't need to dig that far into the deck. Put it back. Put it at the bottom. Okay. Can destroy this. And we can set our Metalfoes fusion. This makes it so that we are alive. I could have probably set rare. Rare was probably a better set than that. But yeah, since we have Para in hand, we can activate Para, go into Mithrilium, using these two. That gives us a Zephyros Metaltron. Now Metaltron comes out. That's the worst place to put this. You should always put it over here. Keep that in mind, children. Pretty much makes it so that we can't go further in the rank up chain. At least not without redundantly using the Bismugear. Anyway. Like right here, the best you can do is this. Then activate. Send cloak. You also can't go into Griffin like this, which kind of sucks. Is this a quick effect? No, it's not a quick effect. But you can get 2 banishes. That's pretty cute. If I'm being totally honest. Hmm. If there was a way to make like a World Legacy successor, or add a World Legacy successor, this would have been a lot better. But yeah, I do want to run that experiment now. I just don't know what card to take out to test the Bao Baboom shenanigans, you know? We obviously need these. Yeah, so we obviously need these. I guess these are the most expendable. True King, Agnaminazod, search. Is it True hyphen King? Are my link arrows still on or something? Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to summon Lethal. We would definitely be forced to play Agnaminazod. We don't have anyone that can. We don't have any other ones that we can work on. Are destroyed. Okay, so now we just need to mulligan until we draw into Agnaminazod. And once we draw into Agnaminazod, we can go into other stuff from there. I am curious about some other stuff. Oh wow, I could have used Gigantic Diagram for real, you know? Like you literally could diagram pop Bao Baboom from hand and then go from there. And 300 attack. I don't know what they kept doing that. Add one True King or True Draco card from your deck to your hand. Maybe if I make space for this, there might be something I can do. This is the least used card. I'll try this. Well then. This is our standard hand. We know what we get out of this, so let's not waste time with that. This is not our standard hand. We don't know what we get out of this. I don't know if there's a way to get this to the promised land anyway. I have 2 scale 1s, a fusion, and an extender that does not add extra cards to my hand. We know what this does. Okay, so maybe I should show you guys what you can do with this hand here. This is actually not crap, surprisingly. So you can special summon these two. You can normal summon this and put this back, then blow up with this. So you activate this, you special summon this, you normal summon this, and you use its effect to put this back at the bottom of the deck. Then you activate this and destroy this. In this situation, I'm not really sure what you'd set. I guess you can still set counter. Counter is the safest bet. If you don't know what to set, just set the counter. It's the safest bet for anyone. Going 2 more. Yeah, in these situations, I think we should actually just pitch and, you know, just try to dig further into the deck to see what we get. Okay, so we get an Agnaminazod. I think Agnaminazod is kind of an extender in this situation. Excuse me? Can Agnaminazod? No. So it has to be on the hand or field. This counts. This does not count as a whatchamacallit at the moment. Zephyr Metatron is not live at the moment either. Really here I think it's more of a can I salvage out of play type situation. I know that I can. I think that really this is probably the best card to go into. But yeah. I do still think that there's a play here. I probably should have No, there was not really anything else that I can do. If I had a good, if there were some good link monsters in the game right now, you could probably do something here. But Konami's not really keeping us in the loop with those. I mean, you could try to do some shit with Trigate Wizard, right? But then you run out of material. The thing is that this is a going second card, so I can't activate Cerberus. Okay, so I have Agnaminazad here, but I don't have the Bao Baboon. It's going to be a while, isn't it? I'm going to find a way to bump this up to 3. I don't think I need 3 of this. You know, 2 should be fine. We prefer seeing the lone fire anyway. So I'm gonna trade that out. I'm really just trying to see if Agnaminazad or you could destroy Bao Baboon in hand. Well, there we go. We're gonna destroy that, and we're gonna destroy that. That's neat. That's actually cool. But then what do you do with the Agnaminazad is the question. That is the $1,000,000 question that we have to ask. And how does this change the entire play structure? Because I have so many cards on the board right now. Like, there's literally so many cards on the board right now. And there's literally no reason to go back into that card. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. I could have extended with Agnaminazad there. Okay, so what do we do with this? This is so much shit. Where does this go? Like, can we just Apollosa early? No, we can't because then we're not. Where do you go with this? My brain has just shut down on me for this one, man. They're such a cool card. I swear to God. Brain is literally just shut down on me for this one. I don't know where to go with this, really. So, but this is way too many cards to actually go into that play for real. But I have 3 dark monsters as well, so I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we just go straight into Rusty Man. I sent the wrong card, didn't I? Definitely did. This is ridiculous. That I might actually keep that Agnaminazad play. Agnaminazad like breaks this deck wide open. You get so much cards. You got so much cards from that. And if I could figure out a way to get it back out, I mean VFD is banned, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like maybe play Sky Carrier or something. But Christ. I have 3 non-effect monsters here on the board. I have 3 monsters here with different names as well. Granted, it doesn't look like Trigate cares about that. Where do we go with this? Like, where do we go with this? Do we just Apollosa for an amount or something? I mean, we literally can. I feel like Agdaminazad just broke this deck wide open just now. I want to see that again. Nothing I can do with these two. I'm so confused. Like, what do you do with this? This engine is ridiculous. I can literally destroy this, add the Agnaminazad to my hand, and then look for an opening to play the rest of the deck out. I'll activate Fusion, but really, and we're mulliganing back. This is okay. Chain block with E-Telly. I didn't really need to use the Agnaminazad, if I'm being totally honest. It's just nice to have from what I'm seeing though. But I do think that Agnaminazad might make it so that I can do the firewall shenanigans stuff. I hope I'm right. Besides, what Kingsley, can you get me a price check on Diagram, please? Like any rarity of Diagram? That's hilarious. That is actually hilarious. I probably should have served. I probably should have Cerberus, now that I'm thinking about it. So this is a floodgate, if I'm not mistaken. These hands are neat. Like this is becoming a more consistent deck by the day. So let's swap back to Firewall because there might be plays for Firewall now. Okay, I like this engine. I like this engine. This engine is nice. This engine is nice. It's an extra monster on the board, which means that I can do other stuff, but this is searching me my stuffs. And I'm also reducing the bloat. If only you could not play Darlingtonia. If only you could not play Cobra, but still play Cobra. See what I mean? If only you could not play Cobra, but still play Cobra. His hand is an attempt at something, but I don't know what it is. We'll find out. I'll play this one out. I think this is full combo. I could be wrong, but this may be full combo. Okay. Activate. Yeah, this is full combo. Because I can just go Beast Mode here. And I can even go I can go even a step further than that. This is a terrible decision that I'm making. I mean, it's basically the same thing. What I get to draw a card, right? How does one destroy? That's retarded. Place it at the bottom of the deck. Let's not do it this time. I've already I've already done enough damage. Why? Because it's from the extra deck? I didn't know that. That rule is so weird. This is technically an extender. This is technically an extender. Let that sink in. Send away 0 day. I can literally get Agnaminazad for full effect here. I do think that this is the direction the deck should be going in. Like, no BS, I think that this is the direction the deck should be going in. Well, hello there, sir. You joined the party a little bit late, didn't you? I mean, it doesn't matter because I could activate this fine young man over here. Oh my god. There's literally nothing you guys can do. So, obviously, with this amount of monsters on the board, I'd say that we link for 4. Big greedy, big greedy. I mean, linking for 4 on Appaloosa means is kind of redundant though, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. Like, it's... Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Where does this go? Does this go anywhere? It goes somewhere, actually. It went nowhere. It's totally dead. That was it. I lied. I think I'm okay with summoning this young man and putting him at the bottom of the deck now. And then activating this young man with these two and going a bit crazy. There's no reason to. Such a fun deck. Nothing more than fun though. If I can get to firewall here, wow, is that cheap? If there was a way to get to firewall here, I would have been able to do so much more. Okay, you gonna restart? Man, this is such an insane deck now. Like, it's actually ridiculous. I just ruined it. I was supposed to send it to the graveyard. Okay. Let's go Italy. I'm going to get a card at the end of the turn. I have 2 fusion cards. I have 3 fusion cards. Does that clog your end of turn effect? Let me see. No. That's interesting. So you can't activate it, but if it's activated already, then it doesn't matter. Okay, so $2 to $6 for this card, and these as commons are probably pretty dirt cheap as well. I think we're getting closer to breaking Mr. Baboon over here every go around that we take with this deck. What good level? I can't believe I'm actually gonna go do this. I'm curious. What good rank 9 monsters exist in the game of YGO? Damn, this was a rank 9? Three nines, 3 9s, 4 9s, because you just had to be special. 4 9s, because you again just had to be special. 3, 3. It's Earth Slicer. What, the rank 9s? How does it your graveyard? You contribute 1 machine link. Ugh. Yeah, you had to go, sir. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card and activate one of these effects. Banish 1 card your opponent controls. Banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand. Banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. Banish the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck face up. Don't think that that's very good. What does Dyson Sphere do? Once per turn, during your opponent's battle step, if this card with material is being attacked, quick effect, you can negate the attack. Oh, that's not great. I feel like I remember this card. During your turn, when you activate a card effect, quick effect, you can target one card of the same type and attach it as material to that card there. When a card or effect is activated, you could attach one material the same type as the card. Wow, this is a pretty nice card. If I can find a consistent way to get something out to this, I mean, isn't there like a World Legacy card for that? You can banish two normal monsters from your hand or graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. This is another good card to play in the deck, I think. You could get it out, definitely. I don't even remember how you get Lance out. If you get Lance out. Wand is an 8. You know, I got this card and never played it. How sad is that? Special summon one level 9 monster from your hand. Target 2 level 9 monsters you control. Special summon from your extra deck. 2 level. Target 1 level 9 monster you control. Special summon from your deck. 2 level 9 monsters, each with different types and attribute. So, if we can find a way to search this card, we can put an extra negate on the board. And an interesting one at that, I would say. Because obviously we're going to have 2 monster negates, and I can take whatever I want in terms of the spells or traps, because we're playing through all of that to make the extra card. Now, the crazy part is, this is fire, and I don't know how we're going to get to Beckoning. Oh, legacy memory. Clash, what does this do? Okay, so let's just politely clear all this trash out. You guys don't belong here. Now, where do I make space for this? Or do I just go past 40? Do I push beyond and play more cards than ever before? Succession would have been nice too. Succession, if I could have made space for Succession, would have been really good. Oh, legacy key. Oh, sorry. Long day. What legacy awakens? Isn't this the Xyz card? Oh, link summon on your opponent's turn. Trap Globe, what does this do? 5 of your World Legacy cards. Yeah, we're not getting to that. I mean, there's a World Legacy card that fits. Like if we decided to just play Chosen, maybe we could do something and find space for Lib. You have a World Legacy card in your graveyard. It's my only disposition with Lib. It's like, how am I gonna get to a World Legacy card? What World Legacy card is the easiest to get to anyway? Would it be World Chalice? And then I'd have to find space for other stuff too, right? Because this is a World Legacy World Chalice. Yeah, so I could send this to the graveyard. I want someone, special summon 2 World Chalice monsters for your deck. Banish this card from your graveyard. Add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. Oh, this is a kinda, because you could if I find space for this, that changes things a bit too. And I already have all this stuff. The guard dragon. I already have the fairy. And this is the easiest way to get into it because you can special summon another World Legacy monster. So you can go. So if you have World Chalice in hand, you could literally just make space for this. Summon any normal monster. Tribute. Link it off for Imduk, and then off the Imduk you could go into this from here. You link those off, go into lib. Lib does lib things, whatever lib things are. But I also removed the e-tellies, I mean the unexpected dies as well, so kind of weird thinking about going into that play, I would say. But that would definitely search me this card. 100% search me this card. I'm sure there's other ways to consistently get this. Or at least, or at least search the other True Kings or something to that effect. But I can't tell what that would be. And again, I don't think at that point I'd even bother to play the Bao Baboom engine, or I'd play some totally different deck without the Metal 4 core. I wouldn't see the merit of playing that core at that point. I mean, that means that you don't have to go through Metaltron to go into all the nonsense and all that stuff there. You could probably play something else. There's options at that point. What did this take to summon again? 3 link monsters. Do I have space for this? To try this? And what does this do anyway? So it attacks, you can banish 1 link monster with the same link rating as. So 3 link monsters makes you this. Let's go to regular combo. Let's see what regular combo can do for us here. And see if we can get to that safely without having to commit too many cards on the board. I highly doubt it, but it's worth checking. It's at least worth checking. Like, I think that card might just be too expensive. Saving that E-Telly boy. I do think that this engine has a place in Metalfoes though. Even if you're not going the Bao Baboom route, I do think that this engine has a place in Metalfoes just for what it can do in terms of searching. And you know, the amount of bodies that it puts on board. Because if we're being realistic here, Before getting to any Metalfoe related play, this is an Apollosa for 3. From there, you can pretty much go into whatever you want, but you have used your normal summon. Heck, if you're so inclined, this is Apollosa for 4. From there, if you can find the right extenders, well, obviously you're going to do what you need to do from there. And these do still fix the deck. These do still give you some searches. So that's all something to think about. I like what I have in my hand. I don't want to change anything. But I think really what you want is more draw power alongside the consistency. You don't want to see more Metalfoes. You want to see more cards that help you draw into that stuff there. Which is awkward to think about. It might be possible. It might be possible because we are gonna link into another monster here. We are gonna link into another monster here, and we are going to extend into 2 more bodies. You are gonna extend into 2 more bodies, so obviously if you have the right stuff, you could clearly make it. You could clearly make this work. I mean, do we need Rusty Bardiche at this point? Like that's the honest question that I should be asking myself. How necessary is Rusty at this point? Rusty has fulfilled its duty. This has fulfilled its job. I could probably get Apollosa, and then the rest of the cards just fly into place. That's really the question. What else do we need here? Because if I can guarantee myself a link that the Xyz monster, if I can guarantee myself that Xyz monster, and I can still get to the rest of the play, with the instant fusion, that fixes the board because then you're not gonna. Well, you can still probably Dark Ruler no more, but I would have to chain with something. I'd have to find a card that I can chain so that I can actually catch a Dark Ruler no more. Uh, and there's other stuff that you can do. There's pop what? What do you want me to pop? And given this hand, there's other stuff that you can do still as well. I think this deck would appreciate Pot of Avarice as well. Is that even still legal? This is at 3? Pot of Avarice is at 3? Are you serious? Whose idea was this? The deck was always like this. I always knew Pot of Avarice was at 3. You know? Um, yeah, see, this was always the correct ratio. I always knew that. There's nothing new here. You just thought that there's something new there, but there's nothing new here. This has all been here from the start. I may or may not be going the firewall route. I don't know yet. I want to play this card though. I figure out this is such a cool card. Like I really like this card. Anyway, let's let's throw a tantrum until we draw into Pot of Avarice and see how much it helps this deck. This is why Pot of Avarice is at 3. This isn't even once per turn. That's the craziest part about Pot of Avarice, you know. The fact that it's not once per turn. The fact that you can literally just vomit out whatever you want into your hand and the game just has to accept it as canon. No. So what you're telling me, right, is that I can literally... No, I need one more card. Still not possible because I'm not... Yeah, okay. That's no problem though. No one will ever know. I haven't normal summoned yet. Well, there's... I still want to draw a proper combo with... Avarice? This is combo. This is good. This is good. We get to see what this deck has up its sleeves now. Best part is whatever I pitch doesn't really matter. Minus this. This is the only important pitch. Why is Pot of Avarice at 3? Who sat there and thought this was a good idea? And I think... Is anyone even playing Avarice? Is anything playing Avarice right now? Like, we're going to see that card resurge pretty soon. I'm certain of it. Because I'm an asshole like that. Someone really sat there and said, you know what this game needs? pot of avarice to 3. Wow. And these aren't once per turn, so if I can find a way to get this back out. That's crazy. Like, as long as I have Bao Baboons in my deck, I have plays. Like, I literally can dig and I can go over into this thing here over and over again. As long as I can find a way to special summon one back out or do something of that nature, I have access to this play an infinite amount of times. And I can literally still go into Firewall Dragon after I've done that to look for a way to extend into that. How is that fair? I can't process it. I literally cannot process whatever Konami was smoking that day. Look at this. Look at this. You can't tell me this isn't ridiculous. Look at this. Let's just put it all back, you know? Let's just put it all back. These two important cards here. Actually, no. You can stay, probably. Can put all of these back alongside this. Oh, I need to find a way to put Don Antonio Cobra back too, huh? Wait, that's 3, 4, and Cobra. Oh my god. Did we just break it? Did we just break the deck? Did we just break this deck? I mean, I could serve here. And I can make this. These are all a bunch of really expensive synchros. I mean, links though. I'm actually not done here. Like, I'm actually not done here. I should be, but because I drew into stuff, I'm actually not done here. Give me some cards, Firewall Dragon. I don't know what else to do. Is there anything else that I can do? What else can I do here? I can get 3 cards back. I can get 3 cards back. Oh, it's gonna do terrible versus interactions. That's what I'm gonna show you in a little bit. I'll show you, like, it's gonna do terrible. It loses to every single hand trap under the sun. If you draw this deck, it's done. If you effect Veiler on Dying Tonya Cobra, it's done. If you What else can you do? If I only have one of the Metalfoes and you Ghost Ogre when on response to my activation, it's done. You don't even have to Ghost Ogre. If you could Ash completely shits on this deck. There's no look at this. Where is my Nibiru protection? Do you see any Nibiru protection here? There's no Nibiru protection. Nibiru just shows up and says hi. Like, you literally are not able to do anything. Like, at this point, this deck is kind of... I'm just doing this for fun, honestly. And then I'm going to see if there's a way to make it consistent and still find space for hand traps. But I'm honestly thinking that at that point that the best you can do is play a 60 card deck. Oh, wow, I can literally put everything back. Now I have this for the next time. I still can special summon? Are you crazy? I can still make this card. Oh my god, that's so funny. Only card that would be worth making here is Tri-Gate Wizard. It's the only card I can see worth the effort to make in this slot here, if I can find a way to do that. What is this hand? This is full combo. Plus an extender. Plus 2 extenders, technically. Fine, I'll just take it early then. But yeah, today I'm just doing test hands with this, and tomorrow we're gonna change the engine again and see if we can make a more consistent one that is actually focused around pendulum summoning and using stuff. I'll show you what that engine is in a little bit, I guess. Nah. But I mean, I really like this deck like this. Like, it's fun, even though you are going to completely be rolled over by hand traps. And the only way to make that work is... Did I already activate Lone Fire? Yeah, I did. Oops. Oops. Right. Anyway. This is kind of a dead card too, if I'm being totally honest. This isn't really interesting hand. Pot of Avarice is at 3, bro. What a thing to think about. What a time to be alive. And this is Dr. Proctor, the car driving doctor. I have a link 2, so I can upload stuff at 3 here. This is what that hand is made for. And now that I've uploaded for 3, I can go into this and completely fuck up the rest of the play. Okay, so I want to make space for that. I want this to be a consistent fixture in the deck. I want to see this. Like this is clearly the end board. This is clearly the end goal. Like whatever it is needs to end on this. You know, there's gotta be a consistent way to put that out. There's gotta be a consistent way to put that out. Because that's the one negate that we need. Like, I don't think we need that many spell and trap negates, right? I don't think so. But the best thing to do is probably play this at higher than 40 cards. Like, 40 is just me ram jamming the deck with stuff just to try to make it work, but higher than 40 is definitely probably the way to go. In any event, I guess this is version 1 though. This is version 2. We're gonna save and I'll clear the deck. And tomorrow we're gonna try Metalfoes with another engine. That being everybody's old friend, 4-month skipper. Alongside, give me a second to think here. Anti-Human Intelligence Messiah. I like this. It's a scale 0, which means that you can still summon back your Basement Gear out from the deck. You can also destroy it in the scale. And it's searchable with 4-month skipper. Like you could literally just, whenever you link off your 4-month skipper, you can go into that. And there's other things you can do from there. It's 4-month skipper once per turn. Like you don't have to summon it. Or I would say you don't have to use the effect as early as possible. You can turn 4-month skipper into a psychic type monster, or psychic Metalfoe monster, and you can make synchro link plays off that. But I don't know what, that's all I've figured out so far. I don't know what else you can do here. Messiah is also pretty good because, if you're playing against something like Eldritch that's trying to go into a bunch of they revolve around back row, right? And I know that they like to send back row to the graveyard. You can shut that down immediately. You don't even have to deal with it. If you're playing against, for some reason, you're playing against Lunalight in the year 2021, you can shut that down as well because Messiah just banishes all the cards. The only thing it doesn't banish is monsters, which is kind of weird. But the regular effect for it makes it so that you can send all your opponent's monsters to the graveyard. It's a pretty good card overall, I would say. Um, it also sets up stuff. Say I have one card in that row, in the one row that I don't use, I can move it over, special summon Messiah, and then find a way to get the rest of the cards out. So those are options, but the question is, how do we facilitate this? I mean, obviously mining will allow us to get cards to our hand for the plays. What does this do anyway? That's not. Wait. If you control the one, yeah, that's not great actually. Now I'm really reading it. So I know that Form 1 Skipper is searchable by that card, but we would want to special summon it. If there's ways to special summon Form 1 Skipper, that would make things a lot easier. Or if that's the main normal summon in the deck, then again, it's not a big deal. But I do think that it can help us cheat out a couple of monsters because you can use that alongside the Heavy Metalfoes Amalgam to get you can have Amalgam, you can have this named and become Amalgam, and then you can fuse with it, or you can link with it. We have options. You could probably amalgam, and you could use the amalgam to link into the actual amalgam. I think that'd probably be the play because you can use those. You can get this card. After that, you can destroy the amalgam with an extra card. So I'm thinking that we're gonna sit with the 3 unexpected die for this one. We're gonna reveal, because I'm thinking unexpected die, this plus a Metalfoe. You can use Formud to reveal Amalgam. Then after you've revealed Amalgam with Formud, well, you die, you reveal for Amalgam, you make Amalgam for real, and then when you made Amalgam, you can search for Messiah. Once you summon the Messiah, you can destroy the amalgam with the additional card that you have, with your additional destroy, and from there you're gonna get a couple of sets, and once you've set some cards, you can destroy the other card to get the amalgam back on the board, and play around with it from there. But for now, that's just my thought process. I don't know exactly how we're going to get into that sort of a play. At least not consistently. There's probably link monsters that I'm not thinking about that can do that though. Probably link monsters that special from deck, or special from hand, or special from graveyard, or mill to the graveyard or something, I just don't remember any right now. Don't you do something like that? No, you don't. You're not gonna help me. I don't even remember how people were looping special summons with this card anymore. I don't even remember how we were doing that. Don't you bring cards back? Yes, you do, but those link arrows, man. 2+ effect monsters. Card was co-linked and is co-linked. One rank 3 or lower monster in your graveyard, set transcode. Is this a separate effect? Don't use special summon. Oh, specifically adding this to monsters. What is Cyber's Accelerator? Target one Cyrus monster this card points to. That's not good enough. VLAN Hydra. One link through your lore, co-link. Card link, co-link to this card. Tribute and special summon VLAN tokens. Yeah, that's kind of terrible because they made sure that you're not using them tokens properly. 2 level 3 or higher Cyber's monsters. Ah, my old friend Update Jammer. 2 level 2 or higher Cyber's monsters. Kinda miss your OTK. Just slightly though, just slightly. You know, honestly, Format in hand plus Predaplant can go a pretty long way from what I'm seeing. Because you could just special summon this back and then you just link it off and you get your Messiah. Link someone by using backup secretary as material. And your monsters. Oh yeah, that's not good enough. You know the sad thing is that we just give up on these cards after a while. Like that's the really sad thing. We just give up on these cards after a while. Like it's like, oh well, Format Skipper is no longer good. Why? Tribute this card. Tribute one monster this card points to, draw one card, then place one card. Oh, you're not making me really plus there. You're just negging. Card is special summon. For the rest of the turn, you cannot link someone. Link 3 or higher monsters. Opponent activates a trap card. You can tribute this card. What do we have in the way of Link 1 monsters? That makes sense. Not much again, I'm certain. Oh, was I just looking through all of the Link monsters? I did just look through all of them. I'm sorry, Link Cross. You were too good for the game, though. I feel like I remember this being played at some point. Clock Lizard. Not good enough. We're not even gonna go down your route. Did you do anything when you were calling? I don't see anything of that nature. Link bumper. I don't know what card special summon a Cyberse monster. That's the sad part. You don't say special summon one Cyberse. Oh, okay, you do. Was that always what it said? Did it always say once this card points to is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you could do that? Was that always the way that effect was worded? Three monsters with different names. The monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to. One level 4 or lower. Administer from your graveyard. Yeah, I know he got errata, but wasn't that to make it once per turn? Or did they change it so that you only can use the firewall during battle? Like, they took away the ability to special summon from the graveyard, right? That's what they took away, right? Dark Templar might be somewhat useful. But it's getting to that Dark Templar. Dark Templar. Actually, no. And I can abuse format a couple of times and add a couple more cards. Is this the only Cyberse Pendulum that exists? Let's see something here. I want to see something here. Is that the only Cyberse Pendulum that exists? Aren't you a lucky young man? Being the only of your kind. How wonderful. Must feel so great. Must feel like you're doing God's work, don't you? I'm sure you do. I'm certain of it. There's no way you don't feel that way. This is a card that you'd want to play to end your board, though. That's the only thing that I'm seeing about it. Like, you don't want to summon this in the middle of your combo because then it'll send your card to the graveyard in the end. Like, if you can send it back and then get it back, you'll be fine. That's interesting, though. You're the only Cyberse. Are you the 0 scale? You're the 0 scale. Card is activated certain. You can target one of your pendulum monsters. Add it to your extra deck face up. Things to consider. Things to consider. But we want higher scales, honestly. Like a 9 or 10. Let's see what we get for a 10. Cannot pencils always are for despots, except for DDs, despots, except for ninjas, DDs, obviously. How am I gonna make that and put that there? How about 9? Clee. What do you do? Monster is pending on someone return. Is that a terrible effect? I don't think that's a terrible effect. These don't seem like terrible effects. Holy crap, these are spirit pendulums. As normal summoners, you can send to the graveyard all spell and traps your opponent controls. The same column as this card. That's actually kind of cute. And I guess this is for monsters. Yeah, these guys have pretty cute effects. And then this one specifically says Abyss Actor. It's searching these though. Like they made these. How do you even get to this card? How do you get to these? Yeah, that one's boggling my mind. How do you get to these? We have a 12 that's actually good if I'm not mistaken. Except dragon monsters. Except from the extra deck. Set cards. And what do you do in the regular? If either player sets a spider trap on your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Why are they giving me so many cards that I gotta put in my graveyard, man? Like, this is actually kind of busted. But, not really. Like, I could do stuff with this. If I could get it to the graveyard. But how am I gonna get it to the graveyard? I'd have to waste another normal summon just to get that there. One for one gets me a forward skipper. You know what? Just type monster. Special summon one. Actually, type nothing and put. Almost someone you can special summon one Cyberse monster from your hand. Face up defense position. You can only use this effect of widget kin once per turn. Contribute this card. You special summon one Cyberse monster from your deck, except for the same card, but negate its effects. Also can special summon for the rest of the turn except for Cyberse monsters. That's not going to help a soul. That's not good. What is this? One Cyberse tuner from your hand or graveyard in defense position. But you can only summon Cyberse. From here we go into Firewall. What? You're at the battle phase, right? Send from the field to the graveyard. Place one counter on this card. 7 max. Special summon one Cyberse monster from your extra deck. Okay. Noble Knights. I think Noble Knights are up there right now. For certain. I do think Noble Knights are up there right now. I don't think you're wrong in saying that, man. You get some pretty crazy plays. But why is it looking like Widget Kid? It's the only good card to get this stuff to my hand. Why is it looking like that? And then I still have to have the format skipper in my hand. And then I still have to have a Metalfoes somewhere. That's a lot of shit to do. Starting to think. Only good engine is this. And we add some searchers to spice it up. I can't think of anything else. Like really, I'm just thinking discard forward skipper, do the generic song and dance, and after we've done the generic song and dance, we get into this. Well, we're not gonna go into that, actually. At that point, we just want to link this off. Maybe we go into this, I don't know. I don't know. Things to think about. I don't want to think about stuff. I don't like thinking about stuff right now. I miss playing this card. There's gotta be other cards that make this worthwhile. There's gotta be other cards that make this worthwhile. Yeah, that's probably. I was thinking about the silent mining. That was probably the other thing that was you could do, but this card's kind of expensive in terms of what you gotta do. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard. It's pricey. That's pricey. especially if we're playing in Metalfoes. Probably should play Lone Fires in here as well for consistency. Wow, we have 19 cards and we haven't put a single Metalfoe card in here yet. 19 cards and no Metalfoes yet. All that to make this, just to see what this is going to do. I mean, it should be fine. It sends a monster back. It's probably you probably can use this thing. You could probably use Messiah as an extender. Actually, you could probably use Messiah as an extender. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, you can probably use this thing as an extender. And that's about it as far as what it is designed to do. Hmm. The one instant fusion. And I guess from here we just start rapid firing out the Metalfoes and see where it gets us. I like the effect Metalfoes more now. I don't know why. Still only play one of this. Why couldn't there just be a field card that searches format or something? Like, oh, summon, add your format skipper or something to that effect. And we also aren't really floating with any effects in the graveyard, but it should be okay. Cynet's gonna add the format skipper. We have two extenders that can go into this, and these. Technically, I still have space to go into the other stuff that I was dicking around with too, but I don't know if that even makes sense. Probably should just say YOLO and go 1-for-1. I'm already discarding. Extra deck. I mean, crazy part is we can go Link Rebo or Almirage. Why can't I not find... Obviously, still the bread and butter. I didn't make space for the rest of that engine. If I even needed it, I don't know at this point. Kinda didn't want to play that deck this way. I wanted to find something different to do, using Messiah as an extender, or as something to end the board as a quote unquote floodgate. I mean, I think Messiah plus Akahi's plus counter is actually pretty decent, as long as you got a Vanisher around. Like, if you can consistently end on that board there, you're in the money for sure. We'll see though. I could be wrong. I could be gravely wrong. You always play this card. Let's see. What else are we playing? You just build at 60 and then you go back down? It's crazy. It's crazy. Madman. I might do that though. So let's see. We have a Link 1, we have this useless Link 2. I don't know where we're going with this. Because I'm not playing the that package again. And I'm not playing needle fiber to extend into oblivion and then, you know, overly hassle somebody to death. I'm also not playing warriors to spam Isolde and do Isolde stuff. So at this point I'm kinda just puzzled as to what the heck I'm gonna do with the deck. Add one level 5 or higher Cyberse. Yeah. So we did this, with this. I have a way to search the 4 mud. I did not put painful decision in this deck. Go see how painful that decision is. Probably should have went the needle fiber route for this. Maybe. I don't know. Needle fiber route got us some pretty decent stuff, honestly. I think needle fiber route's the play. Should I keep the 1-for-1? One. There's no reason to play like 3 of this because I'm not playing painful decision. Now the real question is, how the fuck am I going to get to the desk bot? This requires further modification. Magic Libra. This is what an ugly scale. What does that even do? How does that even do? How does that even do? What 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 does that even want space for this. And maybe rescue rabbit. But then what do we do with 4-month skipper? Fuck it. Let's just put these cards in. Let's just play 42 for now. Just make it 42. Just make it 42 and go from there. Go one arc light. I think we're actually gonna sit on the arc light this time though. And you can still end on this. So there's some level of protection here. I can already see myself looking for space for Rescue Rabbit. Though I don't need to do any of that because you could just play ship or the magic key thingy. Like literally you could just play this. So I don't need magic Libra. Literally just play this. Though magic Libra would be nice, you know, it does make it a bit more consistent to get to this sort of stuff. Oh, why must you make me question life so? Okay, so what I'm getting at here is the play is gonna be get to Cobra, discard 4 Mud Skipper, add instant fusion, and on the instant fusion we activate for whatever the fuck you call this thing. That should special our 4 Mud Skipper back alongside that, and we can Apollosa for 4, or we can go into Hulk. Hulk should get us into the remainder of those plays. But then if you do that, you can't go into Amalgam. Maybe we could link for 4 and then sit on Apollosa plus this and look for some other way to bullshit something else out. You, sir, are important. You, ma'am, are important as well. You are an extender in this deck. Who would have thought the day would have come where you'd find yourself doing something useful like that? And you specifically look for link monsters, right? Yes, you do. Okay, I think I have enough cards to test this here. Weird. Fuck it. When did we neg 1? Well, technically we didn't neg one, right? Now we neg one. You know, this was stupid. Terrible idea. Very terrible idea. Because with all of this, I still get this, right? But I can't link. It was a terrible idea. God awful. At least the plant engine is consistent. Okay, so this is where I start asking questions. Those questions being, where exactly the hell do we go with this play? I mean, you could Apollosa for 3. That gets you your Messiah. But then you'd have to put this here. I mean, you got a floodgate and you got some negates here. It's not awful. It ain't great either, but it's not shit. That's not like complete shit. Like this is. Technically, nah, it's a terrible technicality. Fuck it. Forget I mentioned it. I see you a lot. I definitely see you a lot. And I'm not really seeing any of the other Metalfoes cars. Wow, the 4-mud engine is too consistent. Literally, I'm seeing the 4-mud stuff way too much. What an odd complaint to have. But all these cards are important to me. Okay. There should be an Adamante. Oh, there's no Adamante. There is a Mithrilium though. It's funny because it lets me add Messiah. Wow, it's a big Mithrilium. It's interesting. We have Messiah in hand. I mean, we could do regular Metalfoes stuff. We'd be fine here. This is an 8. We have a 1. We have a 1. I see this being Alkahes. Plus, I don't know. Like, I can see this being Alkahes and Messiah very easily, but I don't know what else you get out of that. This engine does not necessarily work by itself for Metalfoes. Especially not without the adjustment that I made to it. I wonder if anyone's tired of seeing this play already. No, what's wrong with you? If I had Messiah, this would have been like a pretty god hand. I think both of these together are kinda too much. Kinda. It's like use one or then have one of the other, or yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Although I do think that I can place this in the pendulum zone. Then I got an 8. Do I have a... Why don't I have an 8 in hand? What is this? What is this? This is garbage, man. Whatever. Oh yeah, I'm definitely seeing this way too much. Definitely seeing this way too much. Like, this engine is just overstocked. It's overstocked. I need to do something about it. I think I could just play straight Messiah and a couple 4-month skipper or something to that effect. Maybe cut down the amount of something. Like, this is way too much. Let's see. 4-month by itself. Yeah. Probably need space for this. Felt like I was missing on that. I was missing out on that. But yeah, this is the deck. I can see this working better because it puts your opponent's monsters on a timer. Like, they gotta get rid of whatever they're doing. And if you have cards that slow down their summons, like an Akahi's, or like you have counter, and you have you're like unironically using Herald of the Arclight, you definitely can get around with this deck. But it's finding the right ratios, I think, is going to be the big challenge here. And figuring out what else we can summon or get away with as quickly as possible. Also think I want to make space for Saravis. What do you call it? Probably not Saravis. Where's Link 7? Where's Ritual 7? What is this? Why do Drytron have this stuff? Why does Herald have this? I still want to come back to this deck. What does this do? Reveal a monster in your hand. Target. Place a card on the field. Target becomes equal. Didn't know Dogmatica had that. Yeah, this card. That way when you tribute, you can make it so that they can't target something else. Ironically, you could even use Advanced Ritual Art in this deck and do other stuff. What does this do on summon? Anyway. Oh, wow. This negates a monster summon. So if I actually dedicated the pieces to it, like an advanced ritual art and shit, you could actually make pretty substantial board with this stuff. Pretty substantial. Because you could send one entire Volflame for the cost of this thing. And then you get to negate a summon and you get to negate something else. But none of this is spell and trap negation. Do we have any ritual monster, any generic ritual monster that is spell and trap negation? I don't think so. I don't remember any being like just, oh well, there's obviously one. There's obviously one, but nobody wants to see that guy right now. Generic spell and trap negation. But you're so oddly specific. You're like send the fairy type and then say fuck everybody. I'm not trying to be that guy. I do like this negates a summon though. I do really like that this negates a summon. Do you negate? Well, your pieces, your whole, your sum of the whole does lead to that, for being totally honest. This should probably just be played as an extender and not necessarily like something to be built around. I mean, I dedicated 9 cards just to doing something with this, and that means that I don't have Saravis, I don't have Volflame, I don't have a bunch of stuff that would have easily made this a lot more accessible. Though, we're going to just let you show up when you feel like showing up. Shit. Play one of this and one. I bet Jykatron and Herald have all the negates. Is this Bayfort? Yes, this is Bayfort. Bayfort's a level 9? I didn't know Bayfort was a level 9. Discard, negate the attack. Opponent return. Is that a quick effect? Let's just put Bayfort down here. It is possible to be summoned. This is not terrible. This is not a garbage effect. I just don't think Breath of a you can't. If I can remember correctly, you can't pre-prep that card. Don't any of you negate? And don't you add something retarded? Yeah, you don't. What, you could discard this or something and Oh, wow, you just revealed this card and you get freaking Magician Souls. So stupid. Alright, so why do none of you negate spell and traps though? Though Bayfort's not terrible if I'm being totally honest. Can go into 9s off of it. Only there was a way to play another. Goodbye, plant engine. How many card slots do I have left? 5 in this situation. Is this hand trap space? Do I actually have hand trap space? Is that what this is? Actually, no, it doesn't have to be. Now that I'm actually playing that engine, I'm going to try something here. What other card is important, quote unquote, in this deck? Let's play the one successor. And we test hand now. Did I add everything that I need for this? Yes. Wait, no. I need Link Spider. I have Link Spider? No. I've never used 2 Link Spider actually. This is kind of weird. But we get places with this hand. I think. We should. This is okay. Just burn the normal summon. Hmm. Never thought about it like that. Is this a god hand? It would seem that way. Time is 10:30. Got two of these bad boys out here. We just need to get rid of this card. Now then, can I do that again? So they summon anything, it starts getting shut down. We got a negate here, they can't target. You are literally the last card that is supposed to be played in the entire thing though. For certain, you are literally the last card. Okay, where do we go with this? Like I don't know where I'm going with this. Is Tetherwolf more important than... 2 negates that'll get us Ceravis, this thing, and this random card here. Normal summon, sure. Sure. Do still have format in here, huh? What a nice young man. Wow, I'm such an idiot, Sandwich. I did not just do that. How many format am I playing? I'm rarely seeing it now. There's 3 format in here? Why did it feel so much more important when I was playing it in that other deck? Weird. What do you do with this hand? Well, I'm just messing around out of boredom. Why am I doing this? Well, we have the concept for something for sure over here. We just need a couple cards to round it out. I think with that, I'll wrap up the stream for tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by and just, saying hi, offering advice, checking out the test hands and stuff like that. I'll probably figure out a way to round this out tomorrow or something. I really like this engine alongside the Dugaris. Even though I'm giving up my summon, the only thing I need to figure out is a way to... not really. Not really. We already know how to fix that problem. When it's fixed. I do think this is probably the best way to play the deck though. You would get a, on just a rescue rabbit, by itself, you're going to end on a board that has a summon negate, and you're gonna end with this, and with the Metalfoes cards, with just one Metalfoes card, you could actually end on an Alkahi's board. So yeah, we're gonna test this tomorrow. We're gonna figure out if the format actually makes sense to stay. If we cut this down, we're gonna learn how to use this card, really, I think. Because I don't know if this is an extender or what, you know. I don't know what the hell this card is supposed to be. I think it's an extender, though. I think it's supposed to be something that, I mean, if you draw it and you have another Pendulum Monster plus, like if you draw if you draw two Pendulum Monsters plus this, you could probably go into Cross Sheep and get into a play from there. From there you could probably set up a Pendulum Summon. But really, if you had bigger scales, you could fire this out and then get crazier monsters on the board. But that's neither here nor there. Really, it's just I just need to figure it out. I do think that we could probably do the Aurora. Nah, the Aurora downplay takes up too much space. I don't know. I'll figure something out tomorrow. I'll figure out the way to make this an extender tomorrow. We'll figure this. This seems like a very high ceiling card, and I don't think that it's terrible. I think that it's gonna come in clutch for some matchups. So knowing how to use it as an extender is gonna be very important. I mean, it sets up Parametalfoe Fusion, right? It it's still a good card to use to go into Mithrilium, clearly, and it's still you can get your Alkahis if you send one of these normal. If you send one of the normal monsters, you still get your Alkahis, and it sets up link. It sets up a free link too, essentially, if you have a normal summonable Pendulum monster. So the more cards you have, the better in terms of that. But yeah, good games, everybody. We'll figure out the rest. Well, when it's time to figure out the rest. Peace.